All right, let's get right into it. Have you ever just stopped, maybe in the middle of a crazy busy day, and thought to yourself, what is all of this really for? What's the deeper meaning behind my life, my challenges, even my joys? Well, today we're going to tackle one of the biggest, most profound questions there is. Why are we actually here?
I mean, that's the ultimate question, isn't it? It's something that, philosophers, scientists, and spiritual seekers have been wrestling with for forever. And what we're going to explore today, based on our source material, is that the answer is way more profound and purposeful than you might even imagine.
Okay, so let's jump right in with a really powerful way of looking at this. I want you to imagine something. What if Earth isn't just some random planet we happen to be living on? What if, instead, it's a kind of mysterious, highly specialized school? A school designed specifically for the growth of our souls. And guess what? Your life? That's the curriculum.
So what's so interesting about this school is how it works. I mean, think about it. All those day-to-day situations you run into, those are your lessons. And the people in your life, both the easy ones and, let's be honest, the really difficult ones, they're your teachers. And your reactions to everything, whether you choose love over fear or understanding over judgment, well, that's the test. The whole point of this entire experience, the grand finale, is something called ascension. It's about reaching a state of true, genuine spiritual awakening. And the subjects on the syllabus? Things like emotions, money, sexuality, relationships, it's all part of this incredible, one-of-a-kind earthly classroom.
And a huge part of this curriculum is a little thing called karma. And it's really not what most people think it is. It's not about punishment, not at all. A better way to think of it is like spiritual homework. So if we harm someone, we create this kind of spiritual IOU, a debt. Our soul then actually chooses to come back here to face similar situations, not to get punished, but to finally learn the lesson of empathy and understanding. And by learning that lesson, you pay off the debt. Simple as that.
But of course, there's a twist. There's always a twist, right? To make the whole test, the whole experience truly authentic, there's a catch. The moment we're born into this physical body, this veil of forgetfulness comes down. Poof! We forget our past lives, we forget our true spiritual nature, and we totally forget the specific lessons we signed up to learn. The real challenge, then, is to remember.
But here's the really beautiful part. Even with this cosmic amnesia, you are never, ever alone in this, not for a second. The school's design actually includes a totally dedicated and super powerful support team. Think of them as your invisible helpers who are right there with you every single step of the way, cheering you on and gently guiding you back to your path.
So, let's break down who's on your spiritual A-team. First up, everyone, and I mean everyone, has a guardian angel. This is a pure spiritual being from a higher dimension who's basically your lifelong protector and your inner conscience. Then you've got your spirit guides. These are souls who've actually lived on Earth before. They've been there, done that, and they're drawn to your spiritual light to help you in specific areas. And finally, you have the Ascended Masters. These are the heavy hitters, the beings who have totally graduated from Earth's school. They've mastered all the lessons, and now they stick around to help the entire planet evolve.
And believe it or not, the support doesn't even stop there. We can also get guidance from helpers. These are often the souls of our loved ones who've passed on. We can also call on the big guns, like the archangels, for help with specific major tasks. And of course, we can always connect directly to the ultimate source of everything, whether you call it God, the Creator, or the Divine. But here's the key, and this is so important. You have to ask for their help. They respect your free will. Okay, so where is this team exactly? And for that matter, where are we on our journey? Well, to understand that, we kind of need to look at the map of reality itself. See, we are multidimensional beings, and reality isn't just one flat thing. It's more like a series of different frequencies, or dimensions of consciousness, almost like the rungs on a giant ladder.
So let's take a quick look at how this ladder is structured. Down at the very bottom, you've got the first and second dimensions. This is the consciousness of, say, rocks and plants. Then there's the third dimension. This is where humanity has been hanging out for a really long time. It's super focused on the material world, and it's a state where, honestly, it's really easy to forget our divine connection. But things are changing.
And this is the absolute key to everything we're talking about. Right now, as we speak, our entire planet is going through a massive shift. We are, as a collective, moving into the frequency of the fourth dimension. And what is that? It's the dimension of awakening. It's where we start to remember the truth of who we are. It's where our hearts crack open to unconditional love, and our spiritual senses start coming online. It's a huge deal.
This massive planetary shift brings us right back to the most important part of our journey, right back to the ultimate purpose of even attending this Earth school in the first place. You could say it's the final exam, and it's a deeply personal one. It's all about remembering your true divine self.
Okay, so a simple way to think about this is that you have two halves. First, there's your higher self. That's your soul. This is the part of you that never forgets. It knows you're a magnificent spiritual being. It holds all the memories of all your journeys. But then there's your lower self. That's your personality, the you that you experience every day. And this is the part that has forgotten the truth. It's the part that was sent here to Earth to learn all these lessons and, you guessed it, to ultimately remember.
So, what happens when we get really stuck in that state of forgetting? Well, this is where a lot of life's difficulties come into play. See, according to this perspective, pain and suffering aren't random at all. In fact, they are often a very carefully orchestrated wake-up call from your own higher self. It's like a cosmic nudge to get you to stop, look around, and begin searching for a much deeper truth.
And all of that brings us right back to this exact moment in history. Because of this whole planetary shift into the fourth dimension, we are living through a completely unprecedented window of spiritual opportunity. Seriously, this is a time that countless souls were literally lining up for, just hoping they'd get a ticket to be here right now.
So why is this moment so special? What's the big deal? Well, for starters, the spiritual energy is so high right now that we have the chance to clear all of our past karma in this one single lifetime. That's huge. Also, the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds is thinner than ever, which means more spiritual guidance is available to us than ever before. And what this all adds up to is that we can literally accelerate our spiritual growth and move towards ascension way faster than at any other time in recorded history.
So, when you put it all together, the assignment is pretty clear, right? Earth is the school, your life is the lesson, and your soul is just waiting for you to wake up and remember who you are. You've got a full team of support cheering you on, and you just happen to be living in a time of the most incredible opportunity. So really, the only question left to ask is, are you ready to remember?